at with the Chiefs, Clark? I mean, what level of concern do you have for them? Do you feel like they're still Super Bowl contenders, or do you think, it's just a matter of time until they get beat?
I think we need to be seriously concerned about them. Okay. And we talked about this on the last podcast, and we'll do this again later. I've got the regular season rankings that we started doing. When you really dig into the stats on them, they've got some really concerning stuff. I mean, where it's just their offense isn't really dominating people. Their defense seems to be pretty good. That is the one bright spot on the team. But they're just, especially with the eye test, you watch them play. And yeah, when they play bad teams, they seem to be able to score and seem to be fine. But against better teams, it is just a struggle. And so they still have a shot to win, to get to the Super Bowl because, they have Patrick Mahomes, they have Andy Reid, they've been there before. And so I think they know how to function in these tight games. And that's when they played good teams this year, it's been all tight games. So they've got experience in those games. But it's just a question of, then it becomes basically like, what's your margin for error in those games? And I don't think they have a very big margin for error. Like, they can't screw around. They can't get behind by too much. And you can't, on these last second drives, I mean, it's going to be tough because he's got receivers dropping balls, people lining up off sides, and it's like you would think they would have figured this stuff out by, the middle of December, and they still haven't. So I think the thing that people need to remember is, I'm not saying that Mahomes isn't great. Mahomes is great. He's the best quarterback in the league. Andy Reid is a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. Both of them are going to the Hall of Fame. Travis Kelce is really good. Their defense has become really good this year, especially their pass rush. Okay, I think that's really helped them, given that their offense has really been struggling all year long. And so, do I think they're still a Super Bowl contender? Yes. Do I think they can be contending for the Super Bowl for the next several years? Yes. But remember, the Patriots didn't win the Super Bowl every single year. They didn't make the Super Bowl every single year. They made a lot of AFC championship games, but every now and then you'd have a year where they'd get beat by the Jets or something. So I think this has the potential to be one of those years. I think the thing that's holding people back is they did just win the Super Bowl. Mahomes and Andy Reid are so great. And how do you trust these other teams in the AFC? But I don't want to see, the thing is, I don't want to go too far in one direction where, I don't trust these other AFC teams. It's like, well, look at the Chiefs. Like, how can I trust that?
Yeah, I'm pretty concerned about them. I think that, the problem is it's hard to win. You're going to win 3, like if they don't get the bye, you're going to win 3 playoff games and possibly one of them on the road playing like this. That's hard. That's going to be difficult to do, because if you're going to be in games like that Buffalo game last week where one little thing and it could go either way, like those are tough to win. If their offense looked like efficient, and today it looked a little bit better, like they did I think the running game was pretty good. They got the ball to the running backs a little bit, and in the passing game, and I thought that it looked much better, but I don't know, man. I just don't know if this is going to come through in the postseason when it counts, because they haven't come through the whole season. Like, it's not like there's not like that. Oh well, they've been getting better every week. They haven't been getting better. I could argue they've been getting worse. And the fact that Kelce got hurt today, he hurt his elbow. Like, I don't know what's, I don't know how that's going to go. So, but that being said, there's no dominant team out there. There's nobody that you're seriously afraid of. What do I count on them to get it done? I mean, I guess I probably would, but I'm not real thrilled with it. I'm not overjoyed with the Chiefs right now. I'm not saying, oh, well, they'll definitely win because blah, blah, blah. I think if a team comes in and plays a good game against them, I think they're probably going to lose.
Yeah. I mean, like if the Ravens come in and, Lamar is playing well, their running game's doing well, and, they're getting some plays from their receivers, like the Ravens could beat them. Hell, the Browns could beat the Chiefs. I mean, if you're telling me it's going to be a kind of a tough game, and it's going to be kind of close, and the game's going to be, I mean, if the game's in Kansas City, okay, the game would probably be in Kansas City. I mean, that weather can't be much worse than what the weather would be in Cleveland, you know. And if the quarterback's Joe Flacco, well, Joe Flacco has been in a bunch of playoff games. I like the Browns roster. I like they have Amari Cooper. They have who's the tight end? Njoku.
Yep.
Yeah, he's really good. I like their defense. I like their pass rush. Like, they could beat them. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like, you could easily make a case for it. And it wouldn't be like so far out of the realm of possibility.
Cleveland almost beat Kansas City a couple of years ago with Baker Mayfield when the Chiefs were way better than this.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the Dolphins, I mean, look, I wouldn't like the Dolphins having to go to Kansas City to play them because I don't like the Dolphins in cold weather. Historically, they just are not a good cold weather team,
But Clark, the Dolphins defense is now good enough to hold the Chiefs under 20 points.
That's the thing. Right, exactly.
They already did it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're definitely I think there's a bag I'm sorry. There's a very small amount of teams that I actually think could go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think it's from the AFC, it's probably Baltimore and Kansas City. Yeah. And that's probably it. I'm not really taking anybody else to win, more than 2 playoff games. So yeah, they still have a shot, but it's something to keep your eye on. And not because the Chiefs have to score 30 points and be unbelievable on offense every game. They don't need to be that. Okay, the Patriots for most of their run were never that. But they just need to be efficient and be able to, make plays when they need it. And they struggle to do that.
Yeah.
All right. So